Uh, all right, so let's start this session officially in our Discord server. The topic of our discussion is all about space race. I give you 1 minute to study the first paragraph. Just please study the first paragraph in 1 or 2 minutes, because the difficulty level is really high and we're going to have a challenging discussion over the points here. Just skip the first paragraph and then we will discuss it, all right?
Yes.
It starts with almost every day we see something in the papers. Is it clear?
Yes.
Great. So I'm waiting for you. Just use that 1 or 2 minutes and then focus on the details. We're going to have a discussion over that. Thank you. What's your idea about this paragraph? Do you think that by spending so much money on space exploitation, in the long term, we are going to achieve something worthwhile or not necessarily?
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is, do you think by spending so much money or a large budget on space exploitation or exploration, space exploration, we're going to actually achieve something worthwhile? Is that a useful investment of money?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because if we invest the money of the spaces, then we conduct the information about the space.
Mm-hmm. So you conduct what? Information. You access some valuable information. Could you give me an example of what specific information are you talking about and how useful that information could be to us?
Like, for example, in the space, some scientists go in the moon, on the moon, then they conduct the information about human being life, related human being life on the moon.
The possibility of moving on the or living on the moon, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. That is a good and cogent reason, which is convincing. Yeah, as you said, in the distant future, we might end up living on other planets, and the moon would be a good alternative because it is nearby, and also the surface is not that hostile. I mean, the atmosphere, it is habitable.
Similar as the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, it doesn't have any harsh atmosphere like the Mercury or Venus.
Yes.
Okay, so in this paragraph, did you come across any specific word whose meaning you don't know, and to practice vocabulary, did you bump into messy? Where is it exactly? MESSY?
No, MASSIVE.
Massive. MASSIVE. Massive means huge and very large. And yeah, I think Rupali joined us. Hello. Alright, so I already gave you the link to today's session. It's all about space exploration, spending money on space discoveries. So you need to open the page and just pay attention to them. let's say, reading passages and then the discussion that we're going to have after reading it. So let's continue to the next paragraph. That is the second paragraph for you, Rupali, who has recently joined us. So again, the same thing. I want you to study the second paragraph, take notes, and just prepare yourself for an informed discussion over the details of that. Okay? The second paragraph. Understood? Or I can actually read it out to you. It says, for example, hello, we are reading the second paragraph of the assigned material. But in reality, all they're interested in is power and prestige. They want to impress us, their spectators, with a magnificent show of strength. Man has played the power game ever since he appeared on Earth. Now he's playing it as it has never been played before. The space race, I'm just highlighting some words or phrases, is just another aspect of the age-old argument that might is right.
Might is right.
Yeah. So there are some specific points I want you to just pinpoint those areas. The space race. Why do you think that the author believes that there is a race or competition? Here, race means competition. So why do you think that there is a space competition in this reading material?
Get the knowledge and showing the other countries is the one nation is the best to the other. In this wealthiest nation denoted like the development countries, which countries have a lot of money and lot of scientists to research, and they do best.
So you agree with the author that there is a space race in the world?
Yes.
And yeah, in support of what you said, particularly the last word or phrase of this paragraph, the second paragraph, it reads, might is right. So what's the meaning of that, and how is it relevant to what you said? Okay, so Mr. Merdad has joined us. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, unfortunately I don't have your voice. It seems that your mic has not been set properly. Please do something about that. And yeah, this is your first time to be here. Doesn't matter. So you can okay. I cannot call you individually or privately, unfortunately. I'm in the middle of this conversation. So all right, so Rupali, what's your idea about the second paragraph? Because Jeet just expressed her opinion about that. So what's your interpretation?
I haven't read it yet because I was in class while being in BC.
So it's all about
space. Can I get a small summary?
Yes. Yeah. So do you think that there is a space competition in the world? And as Jeet said, those who are wealthy enough to support their required budget and also they have the science are going to just be ahead of others and exploit others and use the findings of the research to their own benefit. Do you believe so?
I guess. I do believe what she said according to what I got from the context of the things that she have said. I agree with her.
Okay. So now that everything is fit, please go on and study the third paragraph. And I'm going to read it out, because first we need to read it in order to understand the main important features of that. Okay, so please study the third paragraph, or you can listen to me studying it to you. Okay, let me just do that. The third paragraph. We are often told that technological know-how means savoir-faire, means having enough expertise and knowledge acquired in attempting to get us into orbit will be utilized or used to make life better on Earth. But what has the space race done to relieve? To relieve means to soothe and make it easier for us to handle it. The suffering of the Earth starving million. So what do you think about that? Do you think that space exploration has made it easier for the hungry to deal with starvation? Yeah, this is a question. How has it been useful to fulfill this objective?
I don't know. Because I am not sure about what space race is.
Yeah, basic needs. That is food, water, shelter. These are the basic needs.
I mean, like the space, what has space then done has relieved us from suffering the arts starving.
So, okay, so this is your claim. How do you prove it that space exploration has made it easier for the poor to deal with life, the brutality of life?
If space race is like the needs of the people, right?
No. Space race means actually doing research. Yes, Jeet.
It means if people live in Earth and go the moon, like a space race.
Yes, as Jeet said, doing research into the realm of space. For example, how to go to the moon, how to just make the atmosphere or actually living on the moon possible, so that in future we would end up living on that planet. This is a space race, according, of course, in this context, space exploration. So, in what way has it raised the standard of living, conditions of life, of your living, of any one of us? As far as the layman is concerned, the practical results of all this expenditure of money and effort are negligible. So they believe that it's not that important to spend so much money on that. Thanks to space research, we can now see television pictures transmitted live halfway across the globe, and the housewife can use non-stick frying pans in the kitchen. The whole thing actually becomes utterly absurd, completely ridiculous. When you think that no matter what problems men overcome, it is unlikely that we'll be able to travel even to their nearest star.
Yeah.
So again, actually the same question is posed in a different form. So first of all, it's completely unlikely, as according to the text, that we might end up living or actually even traveling to the nearest star, because the stars are so far away. If you agree. But there are many technologies that have been discovered through space exploration. With the help of space exploration, we have been able to just discover many other things. I don't exactly remember them right now, but I'm sure that I used to know many, perhaps actually the availability of non-stick frying pans, according to this passage, actually has been feasible because of space exploration. All right, so we come to the end of this session.